So, do you know what happens when a feminist confronts Donald Trump accusing him of misogyny? How does he handle demands for equal pay and the right to abortion? Does he back down or take the challenge head-on with facts? Today, we'll talk about one unforgettable moment where Trump didn't just answer the questions, he dismantled the talking points. From accusations of misogyny to the debate over equal pay and abortion rights, we're going to break down what Trump said, how he responded, and why his stance is more nuanced than the activists' claims.
So maybe I'm wrong, maybe you can prove me wrong, but I don't think that you're a friend to women.
I knew I shouldn't have picked her. I knew I shouldn't have picked her. All right, so let me give you that answer right now. I respect women incredibly. I have had women working for me in positions that they've never worked in terms of construction, in terms of so many different jobs. I had a woman who was in charge of the building of Trump Tower many years ago, before anybody would have even thought of it, and did a fantastic job. I have given women more opportunity than I would say virtually anybody in the construction industry. I have a daughter named Ivanka and a wife named Melania who constantly want me to talk about women's health issues because they know how I feel about it, and they know how I feel about women. I respect women. I love women. I cherish women. You know, Hillary Clinton said he shouldn't cherish. Well, I said, I do cherish. I cherish women.
I want to get paid the same as a man, and I think you understand that. So if you become president, will a woman make the same as a man, and do I get to choose what I do with my body?
You're going to make the same if you do as good a job. You're going to make the same if you do as good a job, and I happen to be pro-life. Okay? I'm pro-life.
Let's first talk about Trump's track record with women. There's this claim that Trump is a misogynist. It's a label thrown around often, but when you examine his track record, it paints a very different picture. Throughout his business career, Trump consistently elevated women to leadership positions, even in industries where women were typically underrepresented. A prime example is the woman who oversaw the construction of Trump Tower, Barbara Reyes. It was a role in a male-dominated industry, but Trump placed her in charge, showing his trust in her capabilities to handle such a massive project. This isn't the only case. In fact, Trump has repeatedly promoted women to key roles in his companies, shattering the idea that he's biased against them. Ivanka Trump, for instance, held a prominent leadership position within the Trump Organization, actively involved in real estate development. Her leadership wasn't just a showpiece, she was a central figure trusted with high-level business decisions. Women also played crucial roles in Trump's administration, reflecting his commitment to prioritizing competence over identity politics. Nikki Haley served as the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, where she represented the country on key international issues. Betsy DeVos, as Secretary of Education, was tasked with reshaping policies in a highly scrutinized position. Both women were selected based on their qualifications, not to fill a quota, demonstrating Trump's focus on getting the best people for the job, regardless of gender. The decisions to hire these women speak volumes about Trump's commitment to giving women opportunities, and they run counter to the feminist activists' claims that he's inherently biased against women. His hiring decisions have always been about merit, not gender. The idea that Trump is some kind of obstacle to women's success doesn't hold up when you look at the facts. But where does the misogyny label come from? Well, from the Democrats. Politics is often a game of labels and framing. Democrats use terms like misogynist as a weapon because it's an easy way to create a negative image without diving into the details. In Trump's case, this strategy has been employed again and again. The media and political rivals tend to zero in on offhand comments or controversial quotes to back this narrative. Take the infamous Access Hollywood tape, for instance. It was used as definitive proof that Trump is anti-woman. But here's the thing. Focusing on a single moment or comment can distort the bigger picture. While the media ran with the tape, there was little attention given to his overall actions regarding women in business. If Trump truly had a deep-seated issue with women, why would he consistently put women in top roles in his organization? It doesn't add up. The label of misogyny is a convenient way to polarize people, especially in a charged political climate. But like any weapon, it needs more than surface-level evidence to really hit its mark. The argument starts to unravel when you look beyond the headlines and dive into Trump's real-world actions. It's all too easy to take a soundbite out of context and build a narrative around it. If the feminist activist who confronted Trump really wanted to argue against his treatment of women, she would have had a hard time disputing his business practices. The guy doesn't play identity politics. His focus has always been on results. If you could do the job, you got the job, regardless of whether you were a man or a woman. This is the reality that critics often choose to ignore in favor of sensational headlines and viral soundbites. Sure, Trump can be brash, and yes, he's made comments that are not politically correct. But when you measure his actions, they show a pattern of respect and opportunity for women. The feminists' claim of misogyny doesn't align with the success stories of countless women who've thrived in his businesses. Misogyny, in this case, is more a political buzzword than a reality grounded in Trump's history. Let's get into another highly debated issue in modern workplaces: the gender pay gap. The activists' demand for equal pay, regardless of circumstances, oversimplifies a complex issue. The commonly cited gender pay gap, which stands at around 18%, does not account for several key factors like job types, education, experience, or hours worked. Studies from organizations like the Bureau of Labor Statistics show that when these variables are factored in, the gap shrinks to around 2 to 5%. For example, men and women in the same positions with comparable qualifications and experience often earn nearly identical salaries. The wage gap is largely due to career choices, industries, and personal decisions, such as taking time off for family or working fewer hours. Let's talk about competencies and experience real quick. People don't all walk into jobs with the same level of skill or background. Someone with 15 years of experience in a specialized field should rightfully be earning more than someone fresh out of college. That's not discrimination. That's common just sense. Nothing more, nothing less. The feminist activists' argument for equal pay, regardless of these factors, misses a key point. Equal work deserves equal pay, but only when the work is truly equal in terms of responsibilities and results. Think about it. A CEO and a junior-level employee don't earn the same salary, right? The same concept applies across industries, where the level of responsibility, experience, and skill set matter. It's not like there's a group of some powerful men who cooked up a huge systemic conspiracy to underpay women, because guess what? The huge majority of men, believe it or not, love women. So it's all about sexism, but the context in which wages are determined. Trump's merit-based pay philosophy aligns with this more nuanced understanding. He argues that pay should be equal for equal work and skill, not simply based on gender. A merit-based system rewards individuals for their performance, experience, and competency. Ignoring these elements in favor of blanket equality disregards the complexities of the labor market and can even discourage career growth by devaluing experience and expertise. Equal pay shouldn't mean everyone earns the same, but that individuals are paid fairly for the work they do. This approach fosters a system where performance and qualifications drive success, not identity politics. So what was Trump's response to the activist on equal pay? It was pretty straightforward. Women should be paid equally if they perform the same job at the same level. This is merit-based pay in action, and it's a principle that's hard to argue with. In a fair system, compensation reflects the value someone brings to the company, not their gender. No discrimination here or anything. It's only about ensuring fairness by rewarding performance. Besides, forcing employers to pay everyone the same without considering qualifications undermines the reward system that ultimately rewards excellence, and with excellence, all consumers stand to profit. In fact, paying everyone the same amount discourages people from pursuing higher education or gaining more experience, as it diminishes the benefits of doing so. Instead of leveling the playing field, this approach will only lead to a lack of motivation for career growth and substandard products on the market. In the end, equal pay for everyone, regardless of merit, means nobody wins and we all lose. Ultimately, the merit-based approach Trump and most sensible businessmen advocate for promotes a fairer workplace by compensating individuals based on the value they provide. It doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman. If you do the same job at the same level, you should get the same pay. Moving on, let's talk about the feminist question regarding her body and Kamala Harris' claim that Trump would enforce a nationwide abortion ban. During their recent debate, Harris falsely asserted that Trump supported such a ban, but Trump has consistently denied this. Instead, he emphasized that abortion laws should be determined by individual states, not the federal government. He made it clear that there's no reason to sign a ban because we have gotten what everyone wanted, referring to the Supreme Court's decision to return the regulation of abortion to the states. Harris countered with her promise to reinstate abortion protections from Roe v. Wade should she become president. Trump, however, reiterated that he wouldn't need to veto a national abortion ban because such legislation is unlikely to pass Congress. He also expressed his support for exceptions in cases of rape, incest, and the life of the mother, aligning his stance with those of many Americans. Despite Harris's repeated claims, Trump maintained that his focus was on upholding states' rights. Currently, at least 22 states have abortion bans or restrictions, with many others continuing to debate the issue. Trump's stance on abortion emphasizes a more nuanced pro-life approach, grounded in ethical and moral considerations beyond just the right to choose argument. His focus on protecting unborn lives reflects a belief that abortion isn't solely about bodily autonomy. It's about the rights of the fetus as well. For Trump, the question of abortion isn't just a political issue. It involves deeper moral implications. He's consistently supported exceptions for cases involving rape, incest, or when the mother's life is at risk. These exceptions acknowledge the difficult circumstances some women face while still protecting what Trump sees as the right to life for the unborn. His pro-life stance rejects blanket federal mandates in favor of a case-by-case evaluation by states, reinforcing the idea that local governments are better equipped to navigate the complex ethical landscape surrounding abortion. By allowing states to legislate based on the beliefs and values of their voters, Trump has positioned himself as a defender of life, without imposing a federal solution. His approach aims to balance the rights of women with the rights of the unborn, promoting policies that protect the most vulnerable while leaving the final decision in the hands of the states. This creates a framework where each state can consider the cultural, ethical, and religious factors that contribute to their views on abortion, offering a solution that reflects local sentiments more accurately than a nationwide policy could. And besides, Trump's stance on abortion also emphasizes alternatives like adoption and comprehensive women's health solutions that don't rely on abortion as the primary option. Critics often argue that restricting abortion access harms women's health, but Trump and his supporters have highlighted the importance of providing women with better access to healthcare services, education, and support networks. By promoting adoption as a viable alternative, Trump's policies aim to protect the unborn while offering women the resources they need to make informed decisions. This focus includes expanding access to prenatal care, ensuring better post-birth support, and promoting family planning programs that don't depend solely on abortion services. His approach also acknowledges the importance of supporting women through difficult pregnancies, especially in cases where health risks are involved. Comprehensive care programs, according to Trump, can help address many of the concerns that lead women to seek abortions in the first place. By prioritizing alternatives to abortion, Trump has positioned himself as an advocate for both unborn children and women as well. His policies aim to provide a balanced solution that respects women's health while also protecting life, offering a broader, more supportive framework for women in need. And that's it for this video. So we've covered how Trump responded to accusations of misogyny, the gender pay gap, and the contentious abortion debate. He's shown that actions speak louder than words when it comes to supporting women in his business and administration, advocated for me-based pay that reflects skill and experience, and maintained that states, not the federal government, should decide abortion laws. But what do you think? Comment your thoughts below. Don't forget to like, share this with your family and friends, and subscribe for more content. Hit the bell so you don't miss out. Thanks for your support.